If you listen to episode 1, you're in for a treat. We kick it off right away as Cari explains what's going on inside of our room. We just dig right deep into the other side of the spirit world. Tune into this one. It's going to be good.
There's a male by you. Is there like a friend on the other side? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're pal. Is this okay?
No, please do.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired, but but there is a male around you, like a friend type, and it was very similar to you or like you. And what was in December? Was there anything in December? Did he pass in December, or what's the 12? There's an R. You don't know. There's a male, but there is a male that's very similar to you. So there, but this male he's a friend, or there's a friend, right? Nobody passed in December. That was a friend, like that was
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
That has like four kids.
I'm not sure how many kids he has.
Okay, but did he hunt a lot, or was he outdoors a lot?
Yep.
And is there an R around him?
Yep. Now I know. Yeah.
Okay, and there is something about December around him, right? Did he pass in December?
It's in December.
Will
Right. Pretty close to. I
Okay.
think.
And is there like a?
Yeah.
Okay, like an RO, like a. Okay, and you guys were pretty close. Yeah, he's like excited. Did you didn't work with him though, did you?
We worked.
Because he's telling me he's proud of your work, so he must have worked with you at some time. Yeah. So he's like, are you like transitioning to something new, like doing something different? Because he's helping you transition with your work. So you're very physical?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he do something physical with you? He makes me feel like he was a hard worker too, though.
Yeah, he was a super hard worker.
Were you his boss?
No.
Why were you his mentor? Or was it the other way around?
No. I guess we were like even, but we were different, like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know, different companies, different, but.
He makes me feel like he looked up to you, and he's very, like, he's proud of your new, like, there's a new adventure, and he's helping you do that.
Very interesting. That's awesome.
But all of that resonates with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. That made me nervous. It's like a gallery reading, right?
Yeah.
So the message is that he really is proud of you. Like, he makes me feel like you're going for it. Like, you're doing the thing that you want to do. And he's like, I feel like he had a good life and he loved his life, but he makes me feel like he's like 100% behind you, trying to push you in that right direction.
That's awesome. Yeah. So so we can give the listeners a little bit of insight on this, and then what, obviously, Devin. Everybody.
I didn't even tell her what your name was, your last
Right.
name was.
Yeah.
And I told her nothing about you. So it's
No,
funny,
I even
like,
asked what your name was when I came in.
Yeah.
I was like, because sorry, Lacey.
as she's saying this stuff,
Not
I'm
at all.
like, dude, so I know what I assume that I know exactly what you're talking about. Am I right too?
What?
About the person?
No. It's a different dude.
Dang.
Yeah. So, and actually I forgot that he passed away, like, kind of, not like, that sounds really bad, but yeah, so his name's Rocco DeRazio, and he's from Cuna. He and his kid were on the way home from, I want to say, Washington. His kid was going to something to do with school, and they were coming home, and he got in a car crash. His kid survived, his dad died. So Rocco died in a car crash, and I want to say it was sometime around in like December-ish area that he did die. So Rocco and I knew
Mid-December 2004.
There you go. No. 2000.
Reports indicate that a man named Rocco
No, that's a different.
had
It
a car
was-
accident mid-December.
Yeah.
Yeah, DOR.
Yeah, but it was last year. This was definitely
It
not
said
2004.
2004. That is last year.
2024?
2024, I'm sorry.
I was
Yes,
like 2004.
Yes, sir.
I was.
I'm sorry. An obituary confirms Rocco Michael Joseph D.
Yeah.
from Kuna, Idaho, passed away December 14th, 2024.
There you go.
Did the other male around you get kind of sick though, or was there like
Yeah.
a sickness? Yeah. There's another male.
Oh,
that
these
has this-
cocksuckers.
Yeah. But you were actually closer to this other male.
To
right?
which one?
To the one that got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you like brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's around you really strong too.
I
Yeah.
want to kick him in the balls.
Yeah.
I'm with him a lot.
Yeah. You actually you do. I don't know if you talk out loud to him, but you do talk to him quite a bit. Does
Yep.
that make sense? Yeah. He's there all the time. Now he does make me feel like too, did he kind of like to party sometimes? Yeah.
Told you.
Makes me
He's
feel like-
yeah.
There's like some partying going on. Yeah.
Both of
You guys had some good times together.
very much so.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as she brings him up, you're like, these cocksuckers. Your total personality
Yeah.
changed for a
So
minute.
So the one that when Capri, right? The second one is the one I thought she was talking about, but it was that like, but
Yeah.
what else she got on the second
There
one?
was like,
I don't know. Now we're in it. Do some pre-workout
okay,
and
but
we'll
just
keep you.
so you know, I'm like, this
Yeah, get her
nervous
an
doing this,
energy
like,
drink.
Yeah. I don't know. He just makes me feel like he's around you a lot and he really loves you. He does make me feel like he's like more of a brother type to you. So you guys, did you guys actually go to school together too? No work together? Because there's a building.
yeah.
So there's some work or school.
Yeah, work.
Yeah. Okay. Because so I see work and school as the same.
Okay.
Because does that make sense?
Yeah.
But also too, he makes me feel like there's something about like, I don't know, did you guys get in trouble a lot? Or is there something about a car? Do you understand this?
Not a car, but we got in some
he's
trouble.
making me feel like you got in trouble, and he didn't like. He did get sick though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the car is because you guys didn't like. Did you have a junky car? And he didn't have a. Will you watch that? I don't know what that is. I keep seeing this like junky car. What was that?
He's calling.
Yeah. You're not selling one. Just watch that. I don't know what the car is or the vehicle. You're not getting any new cars. You had a piece of crap car.
I've had all sorts of piece of crap cars.
Yeah. So did you have a piece of crap car when he was your friend?
I'm sure.
Okay. Because he's like telling me your car was a piece of crap.
That's
what. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. But yeah. Yeah.
It's making fun of your Dodge.
Yeah, maybe.
That's funny. Yeah. So this is because I've done 3 readings today. So it's like this kind of, and they just kind of show up and I don't like to do drive-bys. So that's why it's like kind of hard, but.
You're welcome here.
I was going to say, you have full permission,
Yeah.
like anything. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. We wouldn't have brought you on if it was like, we were worried.
If we didn't think it was super cool, we heard its experience.
Secretly, I hoped, I think we all hoped this would happen.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I even asked, can you experience things without actually
calling upon it? Yeah.
Yeah, just
sometimes,
seeking.
very rarely, because it's just been the drive-by thing. I get nervous about the drive-by thing, and I don't want to ever give anybody messages that they might not be ready for. So I kind of just eliminate that. And once I do, I can get up to 3 readings a day, and then I start to get a little bit. I get a little bit tired and not as good, not as accurate. So, but there's definitely 2 males around you that are good friends of yours. But I do feel like the one that got sick was closer.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know what the crappy car is. He's making fun of it.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah, I've had crappy cars my whole life, but out of kind of fun. And yeah, there was some
he's
pickups
he
that were.
makes it was like a fun thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know if.
Oh, yeah, he would always just bust me up about what I drove every now and again.
And that's probably why.
So you're saying you see, you're able to see a vehicle kind of thing?
Yeah. So this one, he showed me a vehicle, and then I was like, there's something about a car. And then he kind of showed me that he got, you guys kind of got in trouble or you had fun together. You were kind of, he shows me you kind of partied and you're a little wild.
Yeah.
A little sometimes.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah. And then he showed me that he'd always, honestly, he just showed me a car, and then he'd always be like, we always went in your crappy car. Or we would be in his crappy car. He'd make fun of your car.
Funny.
But that's I don't know why you would bring that through unless there's something going on with the car right now. But I kind of felt like he experienced.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some wild times. We had good times. But yeah, I definitely, and you were right. I do talk to him both silent, and when I'm outdoors, I talk to him people probably see me and they'll be like, dude, this guy is crazy.
You like the outdoors too, or is that the other one? So they're both there, so I can, because they both make me feel like they both do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was one more of a hunter than the other one?
Well, no, they were both
really into hunting
Yes.
and all that stuff. Yeah. That's what. So did they know each other too?
Mhm.
Yeah. Because they make me feel like they're hanging out like they knew each other.
Oh, I'm sure they're probably
Yeah.
hammered.
Yeah.
They don't have a body.
Well,
Yeah.
then they're doing something.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
But yeah, they both
Yeah.
have tried
Oh,
that
I want
shit.
it so bad.
Yeah. Well, they're around.
That's awesome.
I don't know if one does show dimes a lot. I don't know. Will you look for dimes? Just start looking for dimes.
Dimes?
Yeah. I don't know. They might be showing you. Just look like butterflies. So you'll start seeing them. Just watch. They'll start breaking
Which one?
through.
Is it?
I feel like the one you're closer to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because when he died, the second one. And I don't know, like, do you want me to tell you names or like, do you want?
Oh, I don't care.
I've been like super like
sometimes,
just kind of
yeah,
cagey
sometimes
on it, but
they'll sometimes they'll throw in their name and sometimes it just depends. Like today I had a reading and there was like 3 names that came through really, really, really clear. And then there was a spirit that came through that I didn't hear a name at all. So it just depends on, like, sometimes you just get what you get and sometimes you don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah. So the second one is Jesse Hill, and he was like my best friend basically, but it was kind of interesting because he was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years older than me, probably. And so like even almost more than a friend, he was like a father figure, but not like I didn't need a father figure because I had a dad.
And I want to be honest here too. So remember when I said how they all kind of sit, and I don't want to force it to fit, but they sit at a table and whoever's the loudest. Well, if I'm picking up 2 males over there, I can get both of their information at the same time, and so I can get confused who's talking.
Well, Rocco was pretty loud.
Yeah, but the mentor part could have been this guy. Especially where he's older than you. When I was like, there's one that
both of them were actually like the same age.
Okay.
And both of them were mentors in the same, like not same way, but kind of the same thing, right? But anyway, so Jesse died 2020 during COVID.
So he got sick.
Yeah. So we were elk hunting. He got sick and he went home and then like.
He didn't want to go.
He didn't want to go what?
I don't know. He said he didn't want to go to the hospital.
No. And so he got sick, went to the hospital.
So here's another thing too. You'll sit here and talk to me and then they may add to the conversation. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. He's got the biggest mouth anybody I know.
So when you were like, he got sick, he's like, he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah. He didn't want to go.
And then, so then they put him on a ventilator during that whole ventilator.
He hated.
And then that was it. Like whatever.
He got
weeks or whatever it was.
Did he kind of know when they put him on the ventilator? He makes me feel like he kind of knew.
He probably did.
Yeah. And he does make me feel like too that. So this is really hard too, because sometimes they'll tell me that it was their time and sometimes they'll say like it was too early. Like I had more things to do. He makes me feel like he had more things to do. He wanted to do more things. He makes me feel like he was like, he had goals. He had things he wanted to achieve. And he makes me feel like he wanted to do those things. But I want to be careful with that because I don't want like if he had, for his family and be like, oh, it wasn't his time. I'm not saying that. It's just he wanted to accomplish more things.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about his family either.
Okay.
Well, for one, they're probably not listening. But 2 is so his wife, actually, this is where I was going with this, is his wife, after he passed, went to a medium and like wanted closure basically. And that was, I mean, I guess she got it in a way.
Yeah.
But how much closure can you get 2 weeks after your
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And 2 weeks isn't always the best time to go. Like you can go anytime. Some mediums like you to wait for 6 months, not because they can't connect, but because there's so much grief and you just have so many emotions. And sometimes that grief can like prevent from connecting. Cause like if you're grief, so their frequency's here and ours is here and they lower theirs and we raise ours. But if you're in grief, you're already like here. Does that make sense? So they have to like, that's why people only see spirits for just a second because they have to like, it takes them a lot of energy to show up. And so that's why people are like, oh, I see them and then they're gone. So when she was in grief, her frequency was even lower than that. So like the medium, the medium had to pull. So that's why some mediums might wait a little bit longer because they have to pull, they have to hold your frequency too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. That's crazy. Sorry.
Don't say
Don't be
sorry.
sorry.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I could watch you do that all day.
Yeah. And so then Rocco, the first one, he was another buddy of mine. And actually I met him through Jesse.
Well, that's why they know each other.
Yeah.
That's why they showed up together.
Yeah. And so they're good friends. And then.
So was Rocco the louder one or did it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because that's the one I kind of heard first. Like
he's
both
loud. Like.
Was he the more aggressive one that's like, here I am?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he came through first. But they're together.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And so we hunted together. We did a bunch of stuff together. But Rocco and I worked both in construction industry. Rocco brought me, he was a commercial contractor.
Yeah, that's the hard labor that I saw the work.
And then Rocco went out onto his own and we kind of bounced back and forth off of each other a little bit, like mentorship.
Did you kind of go out on your own too, though? Because he kind of made me feel like you went on your own too.
I've been on my own for quite a while.
Okay. That's what I felt like he was telling me you did. But he kind of makes me feel like, are you transitioning into something completely different now? Yeah. Because he's like, you go.
Yeah. My concrete business is waiting on documents to be signed to be sold.
Yeah.
and then not sure what I'm doing. Kind of
Well,
know, but kind of not.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Gonna kick me in the ass and do it?
Yeah, he is.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll help you, Rocco. I'll physically kick his ass.
Why do I love the name Rocco so much? I'm like, that's my next baby's name.
Well, and I'll tell you.
Endorazio.
So how I saw
So
that
cool.
is he showed me a rock. That's why I kept saying rock.
I know, yeah.
Rock. Because he did show me a rock, but I didn't know. Does he show up? Like, does he? Like, so rock can mean a lot of different things to me. It can mean construction, or it can mean that they show you rocks, because like lots of spirits come through with heart-shaped rocks. So at first I heard rock, so I thought that's why I just repeated it, rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this actually was talked about with Capri is our names. Do you have a hard time with names, or do they not come through ever?
Sometimes they do. So it just depends. Like today, I had 3 spirits come through. Like their names were super loud. It really depends on, and then there was another spirit that came through that was like hardly. So it really depends on them and how they communicate and how aggressive they are. Because if they're quiet on Earth, they're quiet on the other side. And it's like, because we keep our same personalities. We're the same people. Our spirits are the same. So if it was hard, if they were like quiet and not very communicative on Earth, then they're going to be quiet, not communicative with me. And so sometimes I'll get a name. It's so crazy to me because sometimes I'll get a name clear as day, and then sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get anything. It just depends on. Yeah, it's kind of like the gym. You have to work on it all the time. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get a whole life story from those 2. They were the loudest mouth people.
Well, it's probably because one.
They were the gift of gab.
Here's why too. It depends on me too, because my frequency and where I'm at will help. Because like they're here and I'm here and we go halfway, right?
Sure.
But I've already done 3 hours of readings
Yeah.
today, and it's like what 10 o'clock it's 9 o'clock at night, and we're in this kind of setting, so I'm already a little nervous as it is. So you know what I mean, and like. So just, and I'm not like, there was no prayer protection. There was no like sitting in the power. It was just like, oh, there's a male figure for sure around you. And that there.
Which is almost awesome, right? Like they
Yeah.
really wanted to talk to you.
Yeah. Because honestly, most of the time, I don't do drive-bys. So they showed, yeah, they're like standing right in that behind you in the corner. Yeah.
That's cool, dude. I mean, you
Yeah.
did the same thing for me yesterday, like, because you started naming off who we were talking to, right? You said like my father-in-law Tanner, or you said my father-in-law's sister, and you're like, wait, who's Charlie? And I was like, what? There's no Charlie. He's like, well, who's the CH? I'm like, oh, my sister's name was Charlene.
Yeah. That's how I will see it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't feel like you can't make that up.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
No.
Right.
and then how are you going to remember that for 3 people for every single day of your whole life?
Right.
Like,
That's why I don't remember the readings, because I do like 3 a day every like Tuesday through Friday. And so, and sometimes even 4, like, because I feel so bad. I have to try and fit people in. And so it's just
Well,
like,
it's your purpose.
yeah.
I feel like you have
So
to.
a lot of times I'm just like towards the end of the day, I get pretty exhausted or pretty tired. And yeah, and it's my bad. Yeah, like today, like I felt really bad because, well, there was one time a lady came in to get a reading and she brought her husband. And I'm not kidding you, so many spirits came through. Like there was his mom, his dad, her mom, her dad. There was like his brother, all this stuff. And then at the very end of the reading, like we had like, I'm not like 7 or 8 spirits come through. And then at the very end, she's like, well, where's my son? And I was like, you know what? That's on me. Because if you ever have a medium tell you that your son didn't show up or your dad didn't show up, they're full of it. It's on them. They just were so busy reading who was there that they didn't tap into the son, or because there's so many spirits there that they didn't make sure they got to everybody, right? So I was like, you know what, that's my fault and that's on me. So I'll do a free reading for you tomorrow and we'll tap into the brother. And then I knew the son, I knew she was looking for her son, but there were so many details that I would have never known that she was like, yeah, this is like, I think I said, I see a buffalo. Like there's something about a buffalo. And she went home that night and her grandson, her son's son, had just barely got a buffalo tattoo. Yeah. So it's like that. But if you go to a medium and they say, you know, so-and-so didn't show up, it's really on them. I'll take the blame. It's on us. Like we just didn't tap in enough, or we didn't fill the room enough, or we just focused on the spirits that were there that we didn't pay attention. Or sometimes we'll miss it. Like they'll say, you know, like today, I think I was doing a reading and they were like, I was like, there's somebody that passed in August. And they're like, yes, it's so-and-so. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's about time. But then now that I looked back at the reading and we talked about it, there was a couple times he tried to come through, but I thought he was the other father figure because it's all jumbled, right? Like you can hear all these voices. It's like you have a blindfold on and we can all talk at the same time. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of, and it takes years of practice to get like it takes years of practice to get like, this is exactly. And sometimes I'll have to even be like, okay, I like have to imagine them all sitting in chairs, especially when we have a lot come through.
Mm-hmm.
So with these guys, it was kind of hard because they were both male. They were both your friends. They were both very similar. So I had to like figure out the separation. Does that? Yeah.
Is it not possible for someone to just not want to come through?
It
like
is.
A spirit,
like there's
could the
times.
sun
Yeah. But at the same time, I knew, very rarely, like there would never be, I cannot think of a situation where a son wouldn't come through for his mom.
Yeah,
honestly.
for sure.
And I couldn't tell the mom that, right? Like I can be like, well, he just didn't want to come because I know there are other mediums out there that are like, they just didn't have time today or they're mad at you. And that's bullshit.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's playing with
Crap.
It's
that's
honestly
like an influence.
it's on the medium. The medium did not pick up that person, especially if you have a room full of them. It's just the same like if we had 10 people in this room at the same time and you guys were all talking to me at the same time, how would I pick out who's saying what sometimes? And spirits are the same, right? And so if your son is in a room with like 10 other people and they're all talking to me, I might skip the son, but that doesn't mean your son didn't show. And so I'll take it. It's on me. There's no way that your son would be there and not talk to you.
Can you like tell them to stop?
Yeah, can you be like, could you guys?
Yeah, like
so
you.
sometimes I have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll imagine chairs and I'll be like, you have to be here, you have to be here, and you have to be here. So yesterday during your reading, wasn't I like, I felt the sister here, I felt the boy there, and I felt the father there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So to me, it was like this here, that one there, because I had to separate them so I wouldn't hear them all at the same, so I could figure out who's saying what, where it's coming from.
Yeah. I noticed you did like you do the pen stuff, right? But you have like
Yes.
colored pens
And that's
too.
why this is hard too, because so I scribble because I have ADHD and it helps me focus. So I'll sit and scribble while I'm doing readings, or I'll have to move around. So galleries are okay because I'm moving, constantly moving. So that's why this is a little bit, I know they're here. I know they want it, like they're making, but I'm not doing the scribbling.
in your
Sis,
element.
next time tell us to get you a piece of
Yeah, I
paper.
know,
We got
right?
you. We're here for it.
Right. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I was wondering if like you had the different colored, because you had colors.
I did just for my benefit.
Is that like, do you mix it up from like
just
person?
for my benefit, just because it keeps me, it's just not all black. But there has been a few readings where people have come in and they've said, use this color. And then I'm like, they wanted me to use this color. And they're like, yeah, that was our favorite color. So there has
that's
been
cool.
times
Oh,
when
wow.
they do that.
How do you see like when you said my sister, right? Like the CH. How do you see a CH?
So I heard the ch. So that's why I thought it was Charlie. Because I heard the char, but I couldn't get the rest of it. So I thought it was Charlie, but it was.
Yeah.
But to me, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
it's
for sure.
like-
I mean, immediately put it together. Like, because you said, like, is your father-in-law's name Charlie or whatever you asked? I'm like, no. She's like, well, yeah, who's the CH?
Yeah. Because it was getting towards probably the end of the reading and they were all talking and like at the end, they like to throw things out because they're like, oh, I want to show them this and I want to show them this and I want to show them the butterflies and I want to do this. And so I hear all of it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Totally. Like what you're saying makes like stupid sense to me. Like, and it shouldn't. But like for the way you explain it, yeah, it just like makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So going back like
Circle
30
back.
minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, you said like that you want everybody to have the gift and
Everybody does have
or
the gift.
does have, right?
I just want them to figure out how to use it on
Okay.
their own.
Yep.
Yes.
So we
Alright.
talked about this with Capri too. Like, why doesn't everybody have it already figured out?
They do. Okay, go. So this is why. So I grew up because they're not practicing it every day. It's just like a gym. It's just like your body. You work every day to get your body in shape. The spiritual thing's the same thing. You have to practice every day. So when I was 5, my upbringing was pretty traumatic. My dad was a severe alcoholic. He was he was a good man, but he was drinking all the time. And my mom struggled with that. And so it was a hard, and we had like Oh, but none of my family listens to this. Severe, like, drug dealer uncle in the family. It was so traumatic. And I was always like, always using my sixth sense to feel the room, to feel where's my dad at today? Where's his emotional state? Where's my mom's emotional state trying to deal with my dad? Where is where's this, if this uncle's over, where's his emotional state? Like it was constantly, I was always trying to read the people. I was always trying to read the room, read. And so I was constantly using my gift all the time. Not everybody grows up in a traumatic environment like that, so they're not using it all the time, right? They're not and so, but this continued throughout my life, and then my first marriage wasn't the greatest, and I was always trying to feel that room and feel the things. So I've been actually using it my whole life, and so when I I started spirits would start showing up when I was little. The house was haunted because I just could sense it pretty easily because I was mostly clairvoyant, and a lot of people are clairsentient, and so they feel the things. But where I was clairvoyant, I could see the things. And my dad would frequent bars a lot and bring home lower frequencies all the time. And because that's where they hang out, like alcohol is a lower frequency. And so they would always be bringing that stuff. And so I was constantly feeling it. And that's why I think that I could do it better than others. But that doesn't mean you can totally do it. So you just have to figure out how you connect. So obviously you probably connect outdoors, right? Like that's where you feel closer to source or wherever. And so when you're doing that, you just feel that feeling of being authentic and being you. And so if you start doing that more and more and more, that's their easiest time to reach you is at your highest frequency, right? Because they're here, we're here. They lower their frequency, we raise ours. So when you higher your frequency, it's easier for you to hear them. So anything that you do that brings you to a higher frequency, you should be able to start hearing them pretty well.
I quit going to the mountains.
You just did for a month. I got to go back.
No, please don't go back.
Dang. So at what point were you you said 5 or 6 years ago is when you started taking the trainings or the courses.
Right, because I started doing readings and I didn't know how to bring through information. There's just, you don't just blurt out, "Oh, your son committed suicide." You know what I mean? That's that's trauma. That's something.
Right.
But if you bring through something like, okay, I see that there was something in his system. He wasn't coherent. Like there was something, he wasn't clear. He was intoxicated. He also had some issues with depression. You lead into that, and then it's a little bit easier to handle than, oh, your son did this. Or murders. Murders are the worst.
Oh,
Those are the
shit.
hardest. Like, oh, your daughter was killed. Your daughter was poisoned. You don't blurt that stuff out.
Yeah.
It's probably hard to be empathetic and then still protect because
Yes.
you said don't cry, don't so you're still trying to kind of put
Figure
that
it out.
boundary.
Luckily, when I'm in it, I'm so busy trying to figure out
what they're saying.
And I'm just, because you saw, yesterday, I was probably more into it, figuring out what they were saying and looking around, where here it was like, oh shit, there's two spirits right there. Do you know what I mean? It was a
Surprise.
different, so
It's got to be the best way.
yeah, it's harder for me that way, but
Just because you don't know.
well, because I want to concentrate. I don't want to worry
sure.
about microphones in my face. I want to concentrate on what are they actually saying. And so it's a little bit harder, but yeah, so it's
cool.
I know. I just want to be like a fly on your wall. Just watch the whole thing.
The galleries are cool because you can watch.
Yeah, I want to go to a gallery. When are you doing another gallery?
So I have Mimosas with a Medium
Heck yeah.
November 16th, and then I have Holidays with Your Spirits on December 6th. The thing is there's 7, they get but they get sold out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next time I do one, I'll just be like, you guys, I'll just give you an invitation to come
Oh, that'd be
first.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
I'm there.
So funny.
It's so cool, dude. Yeah, I love it.
I've always wanted to do it. Yeah, when he was saying it, I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna figure that out. My mom did a medium a while ago, and there was a recording of it. And I tried to listen to the recording, and you could just not hear it at all. It was life changing for my mom. It
Yeah.
was life changing for Devin yesterday.
just cool. Like
they just kind of open your spirit. They just awaken you to like, oh my gosh, there is more than just this. And there is like, there's just more. And you want to know all of it. It's just like, it's like a spiritual awakening.
I think that's what like pumped me up the most is knowing, one, I didn't leave feeling like it was crazy because I was like, I felt like I knew this stuff already, but it was like
kind of validating.
Yes. Like, I mean, 100% validating, but I didn't leave feeling like I have to change anything. Like it was more like,
Wow.
like again, validating. Like I was like, this is real. Like what I am feeling and connecting to and doing and this stuff is like absolutely real.
Right.
Is how I felt. So I'm like, yeah, again, confirmation of just, okay, this is happening. Like this is cool. And like, I'm not just a crazy person.
Yeah.
Is how I felt.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, because I've been telling people like what I'm doing. I'm like, I have never felt more called to do something in my entire life, like aligned with who I am and what I am supposed to do.
And that's the authenticity and that's the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like when that's coming through, like these answers, you know, that you're telling from the other side, I'm like, okay, I'm not just in the loony bin, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's hard because I want to say things, but then I feel like I sound like a psycho.
That's why I'm like, yeah, I talked to Jesus. I mean, there's a difference between talking to a past loved one and then to say, oh, I talk to Jesus every day. People are like, there's an element of craziness there, right? Like you think that there is. But I mean, some people think that talking to people on the other side is crazy too. And I just like, whatever.
Just
The more crazy somebody is, I've found like lately in life, the more I'm like, yeah.
I like that.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what I'm telling you. It's like, it's almost just like, why not? Like, I feel like everybody like kind of goes through life with this like realistic, like, oh, this is like, why? Why are we doing that? Like, why don't we just let it go? Like, why don't we just let it go and just feel what we feel and love what we love and just like and like feel it? Yeah, like because I mean I've talked to Devin and Tommy a lot about just that whole thing that Devin was just talking about, and it's crazy how when you feel like when you're doing something that is like what you're supposed to be doing,
then it feels aligned.
The fire just feels like nothing else matters.
Right.
Nothing else
you're
matters.
Aligned. You're aligned with your authentic. Yeah. And it feels like you could just move mountains because you're in alignment. When you're not in alignment, you feel depressed, you feel anxiety, you feel like stress.
What do most people, well, I think trauma and like closure and that come to you, right? But we're talking about like your greater purpose and that. Like, do people come to you for that? I guess like okay, so psychic is through that.
Yeah, psychic is that. So psychic is about your purpose and your, all that stuff. But mediumship is when you just focus on the spirits. It's just you focus on their personalities, but hybrids are when the spirits come through and tell me all about the psychic stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what yesterday you did the hybrid. Okay.
Yep.
Did you pick that or do you just go with how you feel?
She asked,
what do you want mostly? And he's like, I'm just here. I don't know. I just want to experience. And so usually if people are like, I don't know, I just want to experience, I do hybrid.
Yeah, I think you said like this, or both or something. I'm like, both. And then you're like, okay, that's my favorite.
Yeah, hybrids are my favorite.
Does it kind of naturally go to a hybrid though? Because the spirit comes and says stuff like kind of like with Tommy's.
Yeah, so even Akashic Records sometimes, because my specialty is mediumship. So even I'll do an Akashic record reading and I'll be like, all of a sudden I'll be like, wait, do you have like a grandmother on the other side?
I love that.
I get it. They're like,
that's awesome.
I'll always kind of go back to mediumship.
It's cool.
So what is to do psychic? Or like what is, because we've talked a lot about mediumship. So like psychic is
just your family, your career, your health, all of that, just like without really tapping into your loved ones. It's just what you're going through. Like that's like, oh, you have like 2 businesses, you're getting rid of one, you're selling your house, you're investing in this, you're going to have multiple homes, like just kind of that, like you're kind of not in alignment with your purpose. There's something else coming that's going to be bigger, or you need to, that's psychic.
So you get psychic on yourself? Sorry, Tommy.
No, I'm so hard to read myself. I don't ever
So that's got to be frustrating.
It's easy for me to read strangers, but not easy for me to read strangers, but my own self and my own family, because like the people that are past are like my people, right? So it's hard for me to. I mean, I know that they're around and I know that they do things, but I could never do a reading on myself, right? Like.
You probably get like confused with if you're getting a message for yourself, you're probably getting confused with your own thoughts too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how it
Your
comes
own
through for
emotions.
me is like, so like one year I was having a really stressful day, and it was my birthday, and I was putting on Christmas lights on my tree, and I had, single mom, 4 kids, and I was just like, okay, Dad, if you're around. And so, it was close to my birthday. I was putting the lights on the tree, and I got them all on, and then, like, there's a whole section that didn't work. And I had been, like, working my butt off all day, and I was like, "Oh, this is just." I was pissed. So, I just sat on the couch, looked at the tree, and I said, "Dad, if you're around, I I want you to fix the tree." So, I went to bed. I unplugged the tree, I went to bed. I got up the next morning, got up, plugged the tree, and it worked. All the lights were working on it. That's just kinda how it's just crazy. But I couldn't be like, so that's how they kinda show up for you. That's how they do it, but people just don't think they'll, like, most people would look at that and be like, "Oh, that's just coincidence," or "Something shaked on the tree," or but it's them, and once they realize it's them, they get, like, so excited, and then you can't unsee it. Like, you just, like, it's like the reading awakens you to, like,
What
be
they're
able
doing.
to yes, and then they start doing these things like the butterflies, or you might start seeing dimes, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit," and then they're gonna be like, "Yes, he hears us," and they're gonna continue to do it, and you're not gonna be able to unsee it.
Why did he say dimes? Like, drop hundreds, dude.
Yeah.
There are certain things that they do that are just kinda universal that they do at first until you start to figure it out, and then they'll change it up. So, like, there's dimes and pennies. They like to use butterflies. They like to use dragonflies. They like to use any kind of insects. They like to use birds. They like to use feathers. They like to flicker lights. So those are kind of the universal things to let you know that they're around. But once you figure out it's them, you can have your own thing. So like me and my dad, it's moose.
Hmm.
Just because we used to go up to Island Park all the time, and when I was little, and we'd be camping in at a campground called Coffee Pot Campground, and my dad would sit around the fire with one of these big, huge, like, flashlights, and all of a sudden we'd hear something clomping in the water, and he'd be like, "I bet that's a moose," and he'd shoot the flashlight, and sure enough, there'd be a moose there. So now my thing is moose. So anytime I see a moose, I know it's my dad. So there was one time when my brother and I were doing something, and I think we had gotten in a fight or something, and I was, like, pissed, and I was, like, saying something, and all of a sudden, the light turned green, and I went for it, and all of a sudden, this huge U-Haul just, like, went out in front of me. I almost wrecked in it, and on the side of the U-Haul was this big, huge-ass moose. Yeah, and I know it was my dad saying, "Stop it." Yeah, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Like, you just know. So and they'll do this. So I'm gonna tell a story about, and I'm sure she won't care because she loves it, but I don't know if you guys know. Do you know Ryan Olson? Do you remember Ryan Olson? Okay. So Ryan Olson, the reason why I'm telling you this is because his mom doesn't care if I tell you, and neither does his wife, because they kind of like it. So Ryan actually got a reading from me 2 weeks before he passed.
Wow.
And in the reading, I said, there is a huge transformation for you in May, like huge. I'm like, you're going to get a new job or something. Like, there's a big transformation. And he's like, no, I've been at this job for a long time. I'm good. And I'm like, no, there's something big. Well, in May, 2 weeks later, he passed. He got in a car accident. And so I'd been kind of working with his family, and I was doing a reading with his mom, and we were getting ready to go to a retreat in Island Park because I do retreats every once in a while. And I said to her, I said, he's going to show up in an elk. Like, he's going to come to the retreat in an elk. Like, you're going to see an elk. Like, he's showing me he's going to bring through this elk. And we were both like, really? Because Ryan's this go big or go home type of guy. He was awesome. And so, and I'd only met him that one time during the reading. And then we went to the retreat, and at the cabin, there was this big window. Like, one of the walls was nothing but just a big, big glass window. You could see everything out of it. And we were doing yoga downstairs, like the third day in. Like, I think it was the Saturday. We went up there on a Thursday. And I went upstairs to get something, and I looked out the window, and there was a huge elk standing right in front of the window.
Wow.
And I ran downstairs, and I'm, Carolyn, Ryan's here. So she goes booking upstairs, and as she gets upstairs, the elk, she sees the last part of the elk's butt. Like, and I'm like, he showed you your elk. And that's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's how they do it, because they have to. They can't just come through and say, hi, my name was George. I was born 1915. I had blue hair. They have to show me signs and symbols, and that's how they do it. That's how they show up. But a lot of people would be like, oh, that's just coincidence. That's not Ryan. Do you know what I mean? That's not.
Mhm.
But he is one of the clients. He is one that shows up quite a bit for me. And it's been kind of interesting because I used to not be friends with my clients very much. I used to shut down. I didn't have very many friends because I thought that the more I knew a person, the more it would taint the reading. Because if I knew a lot about you, then you wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, oh, she already knows that about me. So, but Ryan kind of proved to me that I could know the person and he would still bring through, like, every time I do a reading, he brings in new stuff all the time. Like stuff that they're doing, like details, like there was this that happened in their family, there was this that happened, he brings it through all the time. So Ryan actually helped me realize that I can actually be friends with my clients and not have to shut that down
Thanks,
all the
Ryan.
time.
That's
Yeah, I
cool.
know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I know Ryan. I was coached by his dad, played with his brother, baseball. I just met his widow wife. I don't know what you call
Kim,
her.
yeah.
Kim. Yeah, I just met Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I know I never really talk about my clients or the readings, but I know that Carolyn and Kim, they've given me permission to talk about it just because some of the experiences with Ryan have been like really amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. And they are all, dude, just all awesome people.
they are. Olsons are awesome. Yep.
Yeah, those are probably like some of my first memories is with the
It's
Olsons.
Olsons.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just from baseball,
Yeah.
which is wild. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And Ryan shows up big time. He's very outgoing, very vocal, probably like your friends, and he'll show up. Like he would be the type to just be, I'd be doing this and he'd be like, hey, here I am.
Here I
I'd be like,
am.
Ryan, stop.
It's not your turn. The psychic thing kind of freaks me out, to be honest. Like I don't know. I think about it and I'm like, I don't want you to tell me that I got something big coming up in 2 months. Like,
And so,
but it's like, it would be, I think, because of like the death thing, right?
right. And that's why I kind of made another pact with spirit that I don't let them show me death because I don't think that's fair. If I were to see Ryan get in a wreck, I don't think it's fair for me to be like, first, have to give him that information.
Yeah.
Like, one, you're going to get in a car accident. And two, what's he going to do with that information when he gets
Never.
Yeah, he's going to be like, well, knowing Ryan, he'd be like, oh, you're full of it. But he'd have, I mean, what would you have done? If you go to a psychic and they're like, oh, you're going to get in a big car accident, you would be like scared to do anything,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah.
and honestly, psychic's not my favorite just because it takes away your power. Like you have everything you already need inside of you to do it. And I could do a psychic reading on you, but really, ultimately, you get to decide. So I could be like, because I'll tell people all the time, I can see the future, but at the end of the day, you get to decide. So if I see that you're going to get a job promotion and you're like, ooh, I'm going to get a job promotion, and you drink a whole bottle of champagne and go to work, you're not going to get the job
Yeah.
promotion, right? So you really are in charge of that and control that. So, and I don't really let them show me death. I don't think that's fair. Like if somebody tells me, like a spirit might come through and I'll be like, there's a female around you that has cancer. And they'll be like, well, that's me. Or they'll be like, yes, my sister does. And I won't be like, if I feel a heaviness, I'll be like, it's going to be hard. Do you know what I mean? But I won't ever let spirit show me they're going to die because I don't think that that's fair to me or them.
Now, that'd be heavy. That would
Yeah.
suck
Yeah.
because you wouldn't want to tell them. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I know that person's going to die.
Yeah. I just can't do it.
I have a double question for you. It's like the first one, just like yes or no.
Say
And then
devil.
this double.
Double.
I'm here. I'm coming from the devil over here.
The devil's advocate. I thought that's maybe what you were getting.
No, just a double question. So the first one is, do you believe like that what you put out into the universe comes back?
Totally. You're a manifester and creator.
Okay.
That's why in psychic readings, if you're a really good manifester, psychics really can't see your future because you're creating all the time. And that's what we're here to do is create.
Okay, so then with that belief, you spend your whole life, every day, helping people have these experiences that are life-changing, these things that are grounding, validating. How do you think that's coming back to you? Who does that for you?
I don't know. I don't really do a lot of stuff. You probably should but I don't know how that's coming back. So there's a couple things. One, I did have a past life reading in Sedona a long time ago. And she said to me that in a past life, I did not use my powers for good. And I hurt a lot of people. And now my karmic debt is to be helping those people now.
Wow.
So that could be one. So like I feel like I'm fulfilling this person. But honestly, I just really am like, I just want to help people feel good. I just want to help people love who they are. Like if they could actually see themselves the way I see their energy and their light, that's what I want. I just want people to be able to see what I can see, like their frequency and their light and their giving. And that's all I want. And so if reading them cracks them open to there is more to earth than just this, there is more life, and I am powerful, then that's all I want to do. It's kind of like too, it's like that. Do you guys, this is going to age me, but do you guys ever remember that show, Quantum Leap with Sam Beckett?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he goes through he like goes to a different life. He's in somebody's life every single time and he creates it better for them. Like he does these things. And at the very end of the season or the series, he's at a bar and he meets God. And he's like, Sam Beckett says, I thought I would make more of a difference. And God said, but you thought you were going to do it on a higher scale. And really, you're doing it one person at a time. And that's how you do it. And so to me, I'm just doing it one person at a time. It's just like, yeah, it's just, I just want people to see how powerful they are. Like, it's just, yeah.
That's awesome because that's actually why I started this podcast.
I was going to say that's going to resonate with both of them over there because, yeah, Tommy with his podcast, when I first asked him, like, why, what's the goal? And he said, I don't care if it's one person that I help, that's it. And then Devin with this $1 dream that he's doing, it's like, you may not be able to give thousands, but thousands can give one.
Right. And it just with just one person at a time can make a huge difference. So if you think, if I've been doing 3 readings a day for 12 years, it adds up and that's a domino effect. Right? And
Yeah, it ripples.
Yeah, it just transforms.
Because I feel like the most transformative moments for me are like the people that have really like done that for me. It sticks with me and I want it like tenfold it, right? So if you're doing it 3 times a day and they tenfold it,
right?
That's 30 a day you got.
Yeah. And that's what people do. They're feeling so uplifted that they somehow uplift somebody else or, yeah.
It's just crazy, dude. I bet like word of mouth for you is nuts.
Yeah, that's actually how my business has grown pretty fast.
I mean, I've already told like 40 people.
Yeah. And it's
I told people about yours and I'm not able to post it there.
Yeah, the word of mouth for me has been the biggest thing. Not even like a Google search or it's word of mouth has been my biggest thing.
I mean, that's how I heard of you, right?
Yeah.
Through Tanner's fundraiser, there was a friend that saw you and she's like, you need to go see her. Okay. And then I actually think I have family members that have seen you. I was going to ask you this. If I had a family member, right, that showed like, can you tell when the same person is coming?
Not usually. Ryan, I can. Ryan, I can. And then so there was like I'm not going to give too many details, but there's like a group of parents that go to a counseling session that one told one about me and then one told the other. And then they all started coming and they all had lost a teenage boy. And so not all different teenage boys, but I think some of them were friends together. And so I've seen them enough, like probably twice a year. They're to the point now where they just come and validate. And I can tell when I call them one of my boys, because there's like a group of 4 boys that are always together that like come through for each of the parents. And I can just tell when my boys come through. So Ryan is one, and then the boys. It just depends on how often. So here's the thing though, if you were to come and get a reading and your sister came through and then maybe your mom came and got a reading and your sister came through, you wouldn't
be able to tell?
I wouldn't know. Nope, I wouldn't know. Because one, your sister showed up different for you than she did your mom. So she's going to show up how she showed up for your mom.
I see.
Right? Because so me and my brother had the same dad, but we both have different memories of my dad. And I was 5 years older than my brother, so I have my dad showed up different, and I was a girl and my brother was a boy. So my dad showed up differently for me than he did my brother. So in spirit, he's going to do the same. He's going to show up differently he's going to show up how I remember him than he is going to be than he shows up for my brother, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
He was a little harder on my brother than he was me because I was like, I'm not going to say the favorite, but I was his little girl, right? And
for sure, the favorite.
Yeah, with my brother, he was a little bit harder on him. And so he's going to show up as that spirit. He's going to show up the way he showed up for my brother, because that's how my brother's going to recognize him.
Will he give, I don't know, like, because I think about it with like my brother and my dad the same way. And then like my sister, like she's like perfect in my dad's eyes type of a thing or whatever, you know, because this is like
female.
my girls are the same way, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep pushing that.
Yeah.
We are the favorite.
But like, is there
might be
when you come to you, is there like my dad say like, he'd be like, son, not to me, but like to my brothers, be like, son, I was hard on you because of this, or like I don't know, whatever
that's
hypothetical.
what he would do. But if your sister came through, he wouldn't say that to her, right? So the
Mhm.
only time that might happen is like, so I do group readings too. So let's say your whole family came, and your dad came through, he would point directly to you. He would show me. He would put my energy towards you and say, I'm sorry, I was a little harder on you. This is why.
Huh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even know you could do group readings.
Yeah, I do group
It's a
readings.
party.
Cool. Dude, that would be, my wife really wants to do it. I'm like, well, freaking do it. She's scared, right? It's like,
Everybody. Yeah. And that's the thing too. If you're scared, take your time. Like, this isn't something you just rush into. Like it can change. It can rock your world. Like
Yeah.
if you're not ready for it and you open that part of you up that's not ready, it can change a lot of things. So you just do it when you're ready. Like when you feel like you're ready, or
Unless you're me, then you just call it out on a podcast.
Yeah,
I'm just
dude, I don't
kidding.
get. I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't
I think you were
understand the
ready.
fear.
Lacey's like,
No, I don't know.
There's a lot of fears. Some people fear that the person that they really want won't show up. And then there's a lot of fear of the person that they want to show up is going to be mad at them. Or there's a lot of fear of
Disappointed
just,
or-
they just don't want to be disappointed. Or
so, but you said earlier that the person that they really want will show up.
I've never had, the only time I've ever had an instant that they don't is that sun one. And then
But you think that son
it's
showed up?
Yeah, it's all on me. It's
Yeah.
on me. Yeah, 100% on me. I think that son showed up, and I either got him confused with another spirit, or there were so many spirits that he got lost in the shuffle. But 100% that son showed up. I just messed up somewhere.
So let's say, and I know this goes back to the craziness, and I keep asking this, but like, if you want to call, is it okay? Actually, this would be better. Is it a personal relationship with the person to bring in? Does that make sense? Like, so you can't be like, I don't know, I want to talk to this famous person, like Prince, you said. Like,
Oh,
you're like,
right.
hey, bring Prince on over here. I want to know what
Yeah.
this is all about, right?
It's
Like-
highly unethical. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
So it's like super unethical for me to be like, unless I'm reading somebody that knew Prince or anybody who's passed, like that's famous, it's really unethical for me to be like, hey, Prince. Well, it's not unethical for me to be like, so you can call in anybody. So like, let's say you're trying to take guitar lessons and you're trying to learn how to do music. You can call on Prince and be like, I want you to help me. Just like that one Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book about, what is it? The book,
his board. What did you talk about? It's like bored of dead people.
Yes. Do you remember that? And then he like stopped because he thought he was kind of going crazy. And then like two months later, Lincoln comes and shows up and says, what happened to our meetings? So you can call in those people to help you do things. But what's highly unethical is for me to get online and be like, I got Prince here, and he's saying this and this and this.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's not cool.
Oh, sure.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean,
Prince got to be up there like, dude,
Just,
I lived a life where people wanted me. Like, could you just like?
Everybody.
I used to have to go to the gas station in secret, and now I'm dead, and I still have to deal with this.
So
Yeah,
it would be
what was that?
highly unethical for me to talk about Ryan if I wouldn't have gotten permission from the
Sure.
family.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's not cool for me to do that.
You have permission to share anything about me, Kay?
Okay.
I'm an open book, dude.
me too, but there's
Yeah.
nothing cool.
I mean, even down to the point where it's like, I mean, I'll get open. Yeah, who knows who's going to listen to this, but right? Like when we were talking to Tanner and like how you said,
I know.
Oh.
It's the energy. Yep, it is.
I have the goose freaking bump right now, dude.
Yeah.
The
was-
lights
The
just
lights
flickered.
flickered.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
It's the energy.
Yeah. So when you
Yeah.
talk to me about Tanner and you're like, hey, he's telling me you may have projected some things. No, I 100% that I even talked to the mom about it today.
Oh, you called her. Huh?
I was texting her, you know,
Oh, okay.
because I told her that I was coming to see you
Oh.
when I met her, which you also spoke about in the thing, which was crazy. It's like you met the
Okay,
mom.
so this has got to be him, right? If we're talking
This
about him and this
flickering.
is flickering, he's like letting him, he's here.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's here.
Hey, dude.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just cool because it was nice. It was validating for me in a way too, to like know that I felt like I could talk to the mom about it.
Right.
But where before I didn't feel like I could.
Yeah.
And so he probably came through to let you know you could, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't remember, but did he say something about seeing the mom or talking to mom? I don't know. I think.
You told me that he wanted me specifically to know something about the mom that we couldn't figure out.
Okay.
And there was just something different about the mom. And
Like,
then
and
I don't
then
know what, but
And maybe that was like him trying to reach her. Do you have that happen a lot where like
sometimes
could
I do,
Tanner
but
be
I'm
trying
really
to
careful with that too. The thing I think I felt was that there was an instance with the mom, or something got misconstrued with the mom, or there was a misinterpretation with the mom, not necessarily the family, but with the mom. Does that not what it was?
and that's
Or
what it was. Yeah.
okay, that's what I was picking up at the time, and that's kind of what I'm picking up now, is there was something misdirected with the mom or misunderstood, and it was
Mhm.
specific because he told me you had seen both the parents, right? But there
Yeah.
was something about the mom that was different, and it's because there was a misunderstanding with the mom, or something led to be believed that it was different or something like that.
I remember talking about like the money, right? Like I felt like at some point it turned into more about the money than it did about Tanner, right? And this is me
Oh.
being very vulnerable and open with my
Tanner
thoughts.
knew your intention. Didn't he
Mhm.
say that in the like Tanner knows your intention and knows that it wasn't about that for you?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I felt like people were thinking that too about me. You know, I thought that the parents were thinking that about me. And so, I mean, I talked to Missy this morning and I just apologized that I was like, hey, if I ever felt felt like indifferent, made you feel indifferent one way or the other, I'm very sorry. And like, I said, I hate even talking about the money because it's not what it's about.
Right.
And she thanked me. One, she said she was super thankful for me bringing it up because she didn't even wanna meet with me and get the money. And she was
Yeah.
like, that's why it took me so long. It's like, because I just wanted my son back.
yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
want money.
It was like blood money. I didn't want the money. I just
Yep.
wanted my son.
because yeah.
And so she was like, that's why I was so hesitant because every time I brought it up to her, she'd always distance herself.
So in the reading, did Tanner bring up the money too? Did he talk about the money with that? I can't remember. Or did he just say it was something weird with the mom?
We talked about the money and not around the mom, but we did talk
But
about
it
the
was
money
kind
and
of
like my guilt around the money.
that's why. So here's the thing too. I could have been feeling your guilt around the money, but I also could have been feeling hers. But
Mm.
it's because all I heard was guilt around the money, right?
Mhm.
So I automatically think it's you because you're in the chair across from me, but he could have been talking about the mom. I could have interpreted it. All
Yeah.
I know is there was guilt around the money. So I assumed it was you,
There's probably guilt on both sides.
probably. And Tanner was probably trying to let that. And just the flickering of the light while he was talking was his validation, like, this is all true. Like,
That's
this is all
cool.
valid.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it was just really good for me. I had that conversation this morning and I feel like I got to like put that to bed, I
Yeah.
guess.
And let it, yeah.
Yeah. And it was nice. And it was like relieving too, because, and I told her that it did kind of like it threw me for a loop, you know, and I knew I was maybe projecting some things. Like I didn't have the full story, you know, and
Mhm.
me as a human, I'm just going to connect the dots wherever they connect.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to force them, but like, oh, if this aligns up with
Like,
this made up story I have, like,
that you created on your,
yeah,
that you didn't really know.
I didn't
It was
have all the
just, yeah.
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I told her. I'm like, it was hard because I didn't have direct contact with them
Yeah.
during all of it.
See, and that's crazy because if you are an outsider looking in,
You would think you were
I
at their
thought,
kitchen table every
yeah,
night.
like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
talking to him and everything. It didn't, I don't think anybody would have thought that you didn't have any contact with him during the whole time. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's crazy because Tanner like validated that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like it was, I don't know. I mean, the craziest thing too is like I woke up in the middle of the night last night. It sounds kooky, right? But like I woke up in the middle of the night last night, no reason. And I felt like I was like talking to Tanner in my sleep.
Yeah. It's because the reading lets you know that it's possible. And so your brain's like rewired, like, I can do this.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
woke up, I felt super good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the middle of the night. And I was like, I remember saying like, hey, Tanner, thanks. Like, or something. Like I was talking to him like, hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man. Thanks for the gift. Like the gift was on my mind. He told me he gave me a gift. So this is another crazy thing, right? So she's like, do you have something with his number on it? I was like, yes. She was like, it's not a jersey, but like, I was like, yeah. I was like, I have a shirt, a green shirt with his number on it. She's like, yeah, Tanner wants you to know that this is from him. However you got that, that is from him to you. And I even sent that in a picture to Missy this morning. So I shared what what came through with Tanner. And yeah, and for some reason I woke up thinking about that. I thanked him for the gift. I thanked said hi, like thank you. And then I went back to sleep. Like I
It's
don't
just
know.
something you not normally would have done. Like you just, yeah, it just opens a whole, it's just a whole nother world. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's crazy. It's fun because like I said, I love everything magical, right? Disney, Christmas, all the things. This is that everyday magic that
Yeah.
people don't realize is really
Right
legit.
here.
And it's right there every day for everybody to tap into, not just me.
So cool. I think that I haven't even shared this with with either of them, but or maybe I did, but when you said like with what I'm doing, it's working in both realms, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, people are seeking you out here on earth, but ancestors are seeking you out on the other side. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? Like
Okay, so
why or
like,
how? Like
okay,
why
so,
would
like,
spirit be seeking?
well, because they're watching over their family, right? So if they want their family taken care of and
Be help.
so like and get help, they're gonna lead their family to if they want closure and they want to talk to their family, they're gonna lead their family, they're gonna lead their they're gonna lead them to a medium. So there's people out there that are struggling with their kids and their kids are sick and they're praying to their ancestors saying, please somehow help us. And their ancestors are saying, we got the guy and he's right here. And so they lead them to you. And Ryan also taught me that too, because the Olsons every year would do something for Christmas. They do this ever since Ryan died. They would do something big for, like, they'd find families that lost parents that year and they would give gifts. And Ryan told me while I was doing a reading for, I can't remember if it was his mom or, that he gets those people, he finds the people for him on the other side and he brings them to him. So
You need Ryan.
I know we need it.
you need to he would
Yeah.
totally help you too. He's just that type. If you were just like, Ryan Olson, I need
What's
to talk
up,
to you.
brother?
He'd totally do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think when you were talking about like that she had mentioned like ancestors helping you, I think your other people's ancestors that aren't even, I don't know how to explain it. Like me meeting you, Tommy meeting you.
Like
It's
there's
more
a
than
lot of
people that
behind the
that-
scenes in spirit that are guiding us and directing us. And that's the one thing too that spirits will come through and say, you know, that money that you got, I'm the one who helped you do that. Like I'm the one who, you know, that job that you just got, I'm the one who lined that up for you. So it's like they are on the other side totally helping us and they're lining these things up for us. Like I remember one of my boys that I was talking about, he was specific and he talked about one of the grants or the loans that was coming through and he told me the exact number. He told me the exact amount and the dad was like, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you told me
Way
the same
cool.
thing. And even going back to the money, right? The money stuff. I mean, I've talked about this publicly, right? Where I struggled with this guilt around running a nonprofit, but not profiting, but like taking money from it
From people.
to take care of myself.
But you have to,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like the oxygen mask on the airplane, right? Like you have to put your mask on first before you can take care of anybody else. And so you have to, for you to do this, you have to provide money for your kids and your wife and your family. And you have to be able to do that so you can help others and bring money to them. And so, because when I first started doing it, I struggled with the money part too, because there's a lot of people that believe that I need to be doing, it's a God gift. Like it's a gift from God. So you got to be doing it for free. And I'm like, but I gotta pay for food too, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta do this stuff too. And honestly, spirit's like, it's an energy, and it's an exchange. Like it's that whole, you scratch my back, I scratch. It's like it's an exchange for spirit. Spirit's like, well, we're gonna help you because you're helping these guys, so we're gonna bring it through so you can do this work, so you can
Yeah.
keep doing it.
I mean, that's what you had told me, right? Was like, you need to stop worrying about that. You need to stop feeling guilty. You brought up the guilt multiple times. And then you said that the money is coming. Like, and you need to stop worrying about that. And you have to like release this block
Yeah, because it'll block you.
and you need to go, like, because this is supposed to happen. And I'm telling you guys this too. You also said like, you got to get your team together. You brought up team. You brought up this podcast, right? And that's why I was like, you need to come.
See, I had no clue you had a podcast. I don't, because so when you reached out to me, I stopped, like I knew we'd become friends on Instagram, but I stopped. I knew you were going to get a reading, so I stopped. I stopped all following you. I didn't really, and I didn't even really follow you. I just saw you. I saw the whole thing with Tanner.
Yeah.
And I just was like, here's my Venmo money, then I'm done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you reached out, I realized, oh wait, this is the guy I gave my Venmo money to for this kid.
Yeah.
But then when you were like, I want to get a reading, I was like, okay, and I just stopped like looking at anything that you did because I didn't want it to take the reading. Because it's actually harder for me the more information I know about you. Because then I let that control my thoughts instead of So it's just easier to just not know anything about you. It's just easier.
Yeah. I mean, it was all of it that happened last night for me, it was freaking good. And it was nice. It was relieving. Like I said, very validating. And then being able to, my worries were like going into it, going back to like a worry, like I knew my heart rate was elevated. I could like feel it in my chest. One was like, are people going to be mad? Right? Like, two, I don't want to be told I'm doing something wrong.
That's a fear. A lot of people think that your spirits are going to come through and be like, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
There's no failure. We're here to experience, not to pass or fail. It's not a test. So there's no failure, because if you do fail in something, you're just learning. You're having that experience, and then you just move forward and change. You just change direction. So there's not like any wrong way, right? But the only time spirit does kind of be like, yeah, this isn't okay, is when there's addiction. That's when they're like, you probably need to.
Dang.
Yeah, addiction, because addiction, it clouds. You just you're not authentic. You're trying to be somebody else. You're trying to escape something. And you're not clear into what your purpose is. And a lot of, there are some psychedelics that do help you, but once you become addicted, you lose your power. And into anything. If you're addicted to mediumship, psychic, drugs, alcohol, you lose your power and you start to become powerless. And so that's why spirit will say the addiction's got to go.
And so they'll call you out or call the person out.
They'll be like, yeah, they'll show me. I'll like, I'm seeing addiction. And they'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, that's, until that disappears, there's really, like, you've got to get, like, you're not going to be authentic and you're not going to be true to yourself unless you can stop that somewhere. But then I'm not one to judge, because addiction's super hard, right? Like, it's not something like, okay, my spirit say I got to stop, so I'm going to stop. It's just not that easy.
So I'm not addicted to my Adderall.
100% you are.
Yeah.
Can you help me though?
How many should I be taking?
That's medication that helps you to be your authentic self, right? Like, you're not self-medicating. So a lot of people will say, like, there are some mediums out there and psychics that say no medicine at all. Like, you shouldn't have medicine at all. I don't entirely agree with that. I choose not to do medicine because it will affect me differently. So if caffeine's supposed to like give you energy, but it doesn't give me energy. It makes me tired. Right. So I try but there are some people that if you have severe depression and you have anxiety and you can't be your authentic self because you're in fear and depression all the time, then if you take medicine to help you that helps you be your more authentic self, then by all means take medicine. That's just there. Anything that gets you to be your authentic self, alcohol is not one of those things. And like LSD, none of that stuff is going to help you be your authentic self. It's going to give you some trips, but it's not going to help you be authentic. Whereas depression medication or ADHD that can help you be your authentic self, because it can put you at a higher frequency and that's ultimately the goal, right?
Yeah.
For you to be your higher self.
It's funny. I go back and forth between that. Like, I
wanting to be able to be okay by yourself.
Yeah, I just don't want to take it, because sometimes I feel like it does rob me of feeling at some point, right? Like, I feel fine when it's going, but then when it goes away, I'm like, I feel zombie-ish sometimes, And I think it does depend on like what I'm eating, if I've had caffeine.
Yeah.
And like, I've noticed caffeine affects me way more in my feelings or like my mood than, keeping me awake. I don't think it actually keeps me awake. Do I like to drink it? Yeah, because I'm like, is this going to work this time?
Yeah. I don't take any medicine for my ADHD because I've had it all my life, and it's just something that I've coped with. It's exhausting to try and cope with it, but I've got this underlying fear that if I take it, I won't be able to connect very well. I don't know if that's true or not because I've never dared try, but I just know I kind of feel like, and some people probably disagree with me, but I kind of feel like my ADHD helps me connect better because I can have one foot here in this realm and one foot in the other. And also, too, I can have multiple spirits talking to me at the same time and understand it, where a lot of people would be like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean?
With
And
the
not
medication
like,
would kind of slow it down and make it.
yeah.
I had the best way that medication's ever been explained to me, like the best like metaphor is he said, it's like shoes. Like you can walk, you can live, you can travel, you can do everything without shoes that you can do with shoes. But if you have the shoes, it's sometimes less painful.
Right.
It's less distracting. You can get places quicker because there's less roadblocks.
Right. 100%. If I wasn't a medium, I think I would probably be taking Adderall.
Yeah.
But because I am a medium and I don't really know how that's going to affect the readings, I don't dare do it.
Yeah, but maybe you wouldn't, because like I tried Adderall. Like I mean, I was like the poster kid for ADHD. Like before it was cool, I had it, right? Like when like people were like, "Shh, don't tell anybody."
Yeah, right.
And I just like my parents never medicated me, and I was obnoxious as hell. Like if I had if I had
That's
Adderall,
brother.
yeah, if I had Adderall, I probably would have had more friends. Maybe would have like not struggled socially as much, maybe. But now, like looking back, like the first time I tried Adderall, it just like it chilled me out so much that I almost lost like me, And so I take Vyvanse, which a lot of people think they're both stimulants. Like realistically speaking, they should do the same thing, but for some reason
One's
it doesn't.
different than the other.
Yeah, and I have found that I'm like my ADHD is more of that like hyperactive type, and I've learned how to be very productive in life because of it.
Crazy because I'm not a medical medium, and I will tell people all the time, I do not give medical advice. I am not a medical medium, but sometimes spirits will come through and say, you need to change your medication.
Oh, that's
cool. You need to change your medication. And I'll be like, you do what you want.
You do.
I am not a medical medium, but they're saying there's a medication switch.
What's a medical medium? I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, so there's mediums that just do medical stuff. So they'll like tune into you psychically, kind of, and they'll just like, sorry, I'm having a hot flash. So they'll tune into you psychically and tell you what's wrong with your body, just saying there's something here and there's something here and you need to do this. And those are medical mediums. They just do all medical stuff.
See, that's like a creepy to me, almost like psychic. It's like, guess what? You have something wrong. You have cancer. And you're like,
is that cocaine in your nut?
What's the powder, bro?
Yeah.
I've seen lots of white powder.
That's hilarious. That's medical mediums. They'll tell you like exactly what's wrong with you and where. And I don't really know of any really good ones, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know a lot of medical mediums, but I do get medical stuff in my readings, but I will always say I don't want that. I don't want that liability.
Yeah.
So what kind of mediums are there then? Like, so I didn't know that. I thought there was like a medium.
So there's medical mediums, and then there's like psychic mediums that do, and then there's just mediums that just do nothing but pets. So they talk.
No way.
Yeah. So some mediums will just talk to your pets that come through, or there's like pet psychics. So they go and talk your live pets and tell you what they're thinking and what you're doing.
All right. So that to me seems batshit crazy.
Yeah, that seems wacko.
Do you
reason why is
believe
because
in
there's
that?
no validation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you can get away with saying anything.
Yeah,
What's the dog gonna do?
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm super sad because you brushed your teeth this morning. Like it's just like, so I can't say that I mean, so I do have pets come through. As a medium, I will be like, did you lose a pet? Like, is there a dog? Like, or they'll say there's a dog. I remember one time I gave a reading and I was like, your dog's coming through and he's saying that he died like a month ago and you still have his bed in your room. And they're like, yeah, I'm not going to move it. So they'll come in with details too. But as far as like somebody reading your pet, I don't know. Not evidential, right? But if I basically say I don't believe in it, I'm kind of saying I don't believe in what I do, right?
Fair.
Just because humans can like validate things that I say, pets can't, right? And so, I mean, there's got to be some out there that are legit, and there's got to be some out there that are just not legit. But that's with anything.
Sure.
Any doctors, any lawyers, any mediums, some of them are legit and some of them are not. And I think you get that with everything.
Do you ever have clients that come to you feeling guilt about what they've done in life?
Oh, yeah. The one thing that 100%, lots of affairs, people will feel bad, but abortions.
Dang.
Yeah.
They're like, that will tear some people apart. And every single time the baby spirit will come through and be like, it's okay. I know what you were going through. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's not true because
They can forgive.
Yeah, they can forgive too. And they know exactly what you're going through and they know why you did the things you did. It's that whole life review, right? Like they see why you made that choice, why you did the things that you did. And they don't, life's too short to hold that against anybody. We're the ones who do it. We're the ones who hold it. But yeah, the spirits, never once has a spirit come through and said, I can't believe you did that. They've always like, I love you.
That empathy is just.
I'm happy. I'm with you, and maybe another lifetime. And then they're good.
You want to hear some a crazy thought I had yesterday? This is like away from spirits, but maybe not. So like, okay, we're born, right? Did you see my stories yesterday?
Yeah.
I was going
Yeah.
crazy in my mind. I was like, my wife's gonna think I'm freaking bipolar. But like, so like thoughts and like right and wrongs, good and bad. Like, I wonder what your take is on this. Can those be tainted in a way? Like, but like, yeah. So like,
We define what's good or bad. So I don't know if you ever watch Bluey. I have grandkids, so I watch Bluey. But you know the farmer story where there's a farmer and he's working in the yard and his son's working in with him. And the son, there's a horse. I think the horse runs away. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. The horse ran away. Like, that's a bad thing. And the farmer's like, is it good or is it bad? Right? We don't know. And then the son looks for the horse and brings the horse back. And when he's coming back with the horse, the son falls off the horse and breaks his arm. And then the people in the village are like, your poor son, he broke his arm. Is that a good? That's so bad. And the father's like, is it? Is it good or is it bad? Like we label these things, right? Then the next day the army comes and they're going to go to war and they don't take the son because he broke his arm. And so they're like, oh my gosh, that's so good that your son didn't go to war because he broke his arm. And the farmer says, but is it? Is it good or bad? Like we label what's good and bad as humans, but spirit doesn't necessarily think that they're good or bad, right? Because we're just human and we're trying to do the best thing we can. So we never know we label it as this happened, that's really bad, but is it? Because where's it going to go next? What's going to happen next? So we label things as good as bad, not them.
it's crazy because I think a lot of my thoughts stem from religion, right? Because of the way I was raised.
Right. And
like,
we're taught what's good and bad, like at the very beginning.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, right and wrong. I think a lot of this even stemmed because I was coming to see you. And like, and what I had been told, like, you don't do that.
Right. Oh, I'm evil. Like there's so many people out there that think I'm so evil.
Yeah. And I'm like, but like no part of me felt evil at all.
But it's crazy because if you look at it, if there's a part in the Book of Mormon that's like, I think Moroni or something, Messiah, I don't know. I can't remember my books. But it says one of the gifts, a spiritual gift is ministering to spirits. Well, that's what I do. I minister to spirits. So it's considered a gift, but God forbid if you have it. Because then you're like, because I have had very staunch LDS people come to me. And there was one guy and he said, your gift is listed in the Book of Mormon, but it's just people can't see past that. They can't see. They automatically think that what I do is bad.
I think that's going to religious stuff. Like, I think that's a stigma. Like where it's kind of like Lacey said something the other day on the last podcast. And she was like, you asked your bishop about like, hey, can I do this? And he's like, nowhere does it say that you can't, but that's like up to you type of a thing or whatever you feel on it, right? And it's the same type of thing. Like nowhere does it say that mediumship is wrong.
In the Bible, it does say seers aren't like they will but condemn, but you have to realize that's the King James Version. The one who didn't like witches, he wrote that part. But I do have people that will make an appointment and then they'll reach out. I've had 3 times in the 12 years that I've done this, I've had 3 people reach out after they make an appointment and say, hey, I talked to my bishop and he said I can't do this. So,
dude, baloney. Tell your bishop he's baloney. Yeah. That's so obnoxious.
Yeah. So I'm like, they're like, and I know you don't do refunds. I'm like, dude, you can have your money back. Like, I'm not going to.
No, stop giving their money back. Say go down to the bishop and say, this is part of tithing. I'd like refunded, please.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I don't know. I thought about that too, where it's like, all right, at some point, and I listened to this guy named Bob Proctor. He
like Bob Proctor, yeah.
Yeah, he's super good.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
He talks a lot about manifesting in The Secret.
And then like his paradigms and like the state. And it's like,
Yep.
you don't come down to earth knowing anything, right? Like
You don't.
You are taught everything you know.
Well,
Everything
you come
think
to earth
like,
and you're given a name, you're given a religion, you're giving a belief. Like everything your parents are, that's what you are. That defines you at the moment that you are born.
yeah.
So even like, that's why, if you're born where you're born, or if you're born like somewhere else, like in Italy, it's going to be completely different because of, but yeah. So, and we really, honestly, when we're born, we don't have fear. The only thing that we have that we're afraid of when we're born is falling, the fear of falling when we're born. That's why babies have that reflex. Every other fear that we start to have is all taught to us.
That is crazy. And it makes total sense.
So we are taught to have these fears that we really weren't born with. We're just taught to have them.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, like, I think a part of me was scared too, because at some point, like this even comes down to like a deeper question where it's like, okay, right and wrong, indifferent. But it's like, okay, if you do believe some of these things, if they are right, which I'm just open to everything, right? Like there are certain beliefs that I just feel like aren't true.
Right.
But it doesn't mean I know they aren't.
Right.
I will never say like I just know. Like I will say it doesn't line up for me.
Right.
But when it comes down to like you think about what you're taught, right? Jesus, all knowing, good, blah blah blah, be like Jesus, or Satan. All right, well, Satan operates in half truths, half lies. So in my brain, right? Like, oh, I'm not supposed to go do this. Is it because I'm going to be told half truth, half lies? Am I going to believe things that actually aren't true?
True.
Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, I played this game in my head yesterday.
Yeah, like what's true and what's not,
Yeah.
what's bad and what's good. Yeah, it's like it, and I think that that's what we all like. Your spirit knows truth,
Yeah.
so you'll feel aligned with that. You'll feel aligned, and that's just you got to go by what you. And sometimes your truth is going to be different than mine.
Yeah.
Right. So you just got to go with what is aligned with you.
And I wish more people would accept that. Like your truth can be different than mine, and that's okay.
Yeah, because sometimes some spirits are just here, like if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, but some of your lifetimes, they're going to be trial and hard, and you don't want to learn things. And sometimes your last lifetime was so traumatic that this is just a chill lifetime.
Gravy boat.
Yeah, this is just like, I don't want to learn anything. I'm just going to chill. I just want to be one of those like fishermen in Hawaii that don't, you know what I mean? Like,
so that's why I'm Polynesian.
Yeah. So like some of your lifetimes, and that's why some people, like you see some people that have all these trials and some people that don't. It's because this lifetime is a different learning period. Does that make sense? Like they're not supposed to learn that this lifetime, but in another lifetime they probably did. So that's why it's, but when you get to where you're going, you'll see how very fair it really was. It's just in different lifetimes it happened.
That's a great perspective to like when you're looking at someone that seems like they've just had it so easy.
Everything's
like,
easy for them.
They didn't have it last time.
Yeah, this could be an easy life for them. This could be the life that they chose to just chill and have it be easy. Where this time you chose to like learn some shit.
Yeah.
And that's why yours is a little bit more difficult.
In my mind, like what I believe about that too, though, is like I don't know why I have this belief. I don't know where it stems from, but I feel like everybody goes through the same amount of
That's what
pain.
I mean. It's going to be fair.
Yeah. But some people just can have different capacities of pain tolerance.
And pain is pain. Like it doesn't, and that's what I try and tell people too. You and me your pain, it might be something different, something completely different that causes your pain than causes mine, but it's still pain.
And there's no scale. There's no scale. Like you can't say like, you didn't hurt. Physically hurt just as much as I did with.
Yeah, because something might have happened to me that I felt so much pain that I physically wanted to throw up. And that could be like I could get divorced and lose my family and feel so much pain from that and physically want to throw up. But then somebody else who loses a child could have that same pain and physically want to throw up. It doesn't, like some people will be like, that pain was worse than mine, which I do feel like if you lose a child, it's going to be way more painful. But who knows
to you
pain level? Yeah.
who's
we don't
who's the
know.
scale?
We
Yeah.
don't know what's the scale and where's the pain level.
Yeah, like Sally down the street loses her cat might literally suffer just as much as
somebody
who lost
loses a
something.
marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you only know what you know, right?
Yeah,
Your hardest pain is your hardest pain.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
So it's
that's
like,
why I
yeah.
try and be compassionate, because pain is pain. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what caused the pain. It's still, everybody feels the pain.
And that's why I've been told we need to be way more patient with our children. Because, like, yeah, we've experienced life to a point, right? But, like, their hardest hard is what they are going through right now.
now, yeah.
And we're dicks. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Dude, it's
been
not
a
a big
dick to my
frickin' deal.
kids.
Right.
Right? I love my children.
Well, and they don't know how to handle we don't even know how to handle emotion, and we
No.
expect a 5-year-old to know how to do it,
Yeah.
and we don't, right? And so that's what it's so, and that's part of the journey too, is trying to figure out our emotions and handling them. Because what we do is we take it and we bottle it in there, and then like down the road, if something triggers it, it just comes right back out, and we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the energy part of it.
I want to redact my dick to my children. Like, I feel like I've been very good to my kids, but I've had my learning experiences
Yeah,
with them
we
too.
all have. Like, nobody's perfect. We're just humans raising humans. That's what it. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff blows my mind. What you got, Tommy? You doing the thing?
Oh no, I was that dick tonight at Breland's basketball game. She fouled out with like a minute left. She started crying. I was like, "Who the hell cares? Doesn't matter. Why are you being such a baby?"
My dad used to yell from the sidelines. Like,
No, I had a question like on the mediumship side of it because I've got so I used to be a police officer, and one of my partners, he was, well, not partner, he was at a different department, but we'd always BS and like pull up cars together and just talk for a while.
So there are forensics. I forgot about forensic. There are forensic mediums and psychics.
Yeah.
Tell you why I don't do forensics after you finish.
But whatever he had going on in his life, he ended up committing suicide. Do you have people come through like that had committed suicide?
Yeah.
And then like, what is the, I don't know, like, what is the general like feeling on it? You know, not from the person alive, but from the person who committed suicide.
Most of the time, they're remorseful for what they did because they always, so some religions believe that you don't go to heaven if you do that. And that's not true. You just like everybody else, you go to the same place. You just made a rash decision. And so what usually happens is they normally come back and say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was going to hurt everybody so bad." They could only see as far as their own pain, and they didn't see how much it was going to affect everybody around them. And so they come back super remorseful. And most of the time, they probably, and this could be different. This is just from what I've understood. Again, they're going to have to come back and try that same trial to see if they get past it in the next life. So that's like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So whatever it is that they couldn't get through, they will probably have to come back and try. Not because they have to, not because God said or Jesus said, because they want to. Your soul wants to accomplish that, right?
Huh.
So they go over there and say, "Crap, I had so much fear and I didn't make it through it. I want to try again." It's their own doing, because you always have a choice no matter what. So if they're like, "I don't want to try again, that was too hard for me," they don't have to. But most of the time they want to.
That's interesting. Yeah. Cause the conversation I had with my brother after he committed suicide was that he was like, the crappy thing is that what we don't realize as humans, like alive, is that we now have to go to the other side and watch basically what our family's doing and what everybody that we left.
Yep.
We have to watch what's happening there. And basically now we have to take all of that pain inside of us in a way, like
So
in the,
kind of in a way. So emotions are different. Like on Earth, emotions are like heavy and they control us, and they're like at a level 10 on our radio station, right? So they consume us, and they can, like, we make decisions based on these huge emotions. But when you've transitioned to the other side, it's like you still kind of feel them, but not as much. They're like at a level 2. They don't consume you. They don't control you. You're at peace. You have the bigger picture. You know why people do the things they do. So it's not super painful. So like spirits they're not like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do that." They just are like, "Oh my gosh, that's causing a lot of pain for my family, and I want to help with that." You know what I mean? But they're not like, they don't like take sides or like this person better. They're just like, "What's going on?" You know what I mean? It's just they're very, it's hard to explain. They don't really feel the emotion, but they kind of do, but not at the level we do.
oh,
Yeah.
that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I've been so emotional for like 3 days. I've like cried over everything. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right when I
So
told you to quit your job, Cari told me that you're supposed to quit your job.
yeah.
He's waking up.
Yeah, I got a message for you.
Dude, I'm already there.
Okay.
I already totally did not do my job very well for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You guys.
And I forgot too, there's also paranormal mediums that just focus on paranormal stuff. So they and there's forensic mediums, psychics mediums. And so I was doing a reading.
Oh yeah, you were going to tell us
Yeah.
why.
I was doing a reading a long time ago, and I said, what happened on July 5th? And she's like, my son disappeared. And I just at that moment thought, oh crap, am I doing forensics? I didn't, it was when I very first started. I didn't really know. And I said, well, I don't feel his spirit here, but I do know, I feel like he's in Oregon. I feel like you're going to find him by forest by a river. And I feel like that's going to be in April. So you're going to see him again. Because I'm like, that's when you're going to see him next. So I'm like, oh, he must be alive. I didn't feel his spirit, right? Like I just was like, this is when you're going to see him next.
Thought it was like psychic.
Yeah, like so April came. They found him in Oregon, and they found him on a street called River Forest, and he was passed. So that kind of broke my heart because I was like, did I interpret it wrong? Did I do something wrong? Like I felt like I gave this mother hope, or maybe he wasn't passed by then. I don't know, but it never, because when you see psychics, like you watch things like Criminal Minds, and there was one episode where they were one of the policemen were talking to a psychic, and one of them was following the facts. And at the end of the day, they were trying to find this little boy, and the psychic kept seeing this beach. The boy keeps looking at this beach. There's this beach. And so the psychic was leading them to a beach where the facts were leading him to an apartment, right? So the guy was like, we're going to follow the facts. And they went to the apartment, and they found a little boy. But then they opened the curtains and looked out the window, and there was a beach mural on the wall. So like I could be saying, oh, he's seeing a beach. And then everybody thinks, well, he must be by a beach. When in reality, he's seeing a beach mural. And so you can't always trust even like the things that I get, right? Like, I don't mean that in like it's just, you can't always trust always what you
Accept
get.
fact.
Or accept it as something that's going to actually lead you to truth.
Yes.
It has truth, but not.
It has truth, but you might interpret it wrong. Where she interpreted it, that psychic interpreted it wrong because the beach mural was painted on the building, but the psychic saw it as she's by a beach. And so that's why you kind of have to, like, when you do these psychic mediumship things, you have to really like kind of tap into your own intuition too. It's great that the medium like validates some of your stuff, but you really got to pull in some of your own shit because you can't just follow blindly. It's like not any different than following Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta have some of your own discernment and figure out some of your own stuff too. Else I'm claiming that I'm Joseph Smith too, right? Like, oh, I see this for you and I'm all seeing and this is how you're gonna do it. You gotta have some of your own discernment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that back to religion. I think that was part of my problem too, is like the fact that like, oh, you're receiving answers for me that I feel like I should be able to get myself.
Right. Exactly.
Like, why
and you
can't
should
I
be able to
know?
get them yourself.
But then like the script flipped, oh, you're supposed to, but like when it comes to this, like you're not.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like, I think everything
yeah.
I need is
Everything
born.
that came through during your reading yesterday, you had the power to get by yourself. You just didn't know how to access it.
Yeah, how the heck do you tap into that crap? Because I can't.
That's something you learn, right? So you went to one reading and you're like, oh, okay. So now you can start to meditate. You can start kind of like do meditations, figuring out ways to connect, maybe breath work, maybe all those things. Everybody has a different way of connecting. So that's the one thing that's so hard too, is our spirituality is like a fingerprint. Everybody's is different. No fingerprint is the same. So how you connect to spirit and your own spirituality is your own fingerprint. So it's so hard for me to teach you how to do it because you have your own thing. Like I do it through meditation. I do it through but you might do it through hunting. You might do it through breath work, or you might do it through running. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's different, connects different because we all are different.
Yeah.
And so that's why and then there's the paranormal, which I never really went into paranormal because I always thought it was evil. I always thought it was super evil because I was like, oh my gosh, this is
You're calling on the evil. Yeah.
You're messing with evil stuff. And then I just went to Scotland about a month ago, and a part of it was doing some paranormal investigations, and we went into this room, and I was like, "Oh wait, there's like and I was like, there's a little girl here." And so the guy was like, "Is there a little girl here?" You heard. So they would knock if it was yes or no. And I said, "And I think her name starts with an A." And he was like, "Does your name start with an A?" There was another knock. And it was, the knock was over by where nobody was, right? And this guy who was asking the questions, he kind of knew the background or the history of this room. And I said, "There's also something about a fire. Like there's something, I don't know if she lost her life in a fire. There's something about a fire." And he's like, "Did you die in a fire?" And there was another knock. And so he was like, there was a little girl named Molly who, back in those days in Scotland, they would put the smallest child up the chimney to clean it. And that's how she died. She
Oh
got
my gosh,
stuck there and
that's
died. So the fire actually wasn't a fire. It was that she was trying to tell me she was in the fireplace, right?
Mm.
But I thought paranormal was evil, but that whole time it was just a little girl named Molly trying to tell her story. That's all it was. She had had that trauma and she just wanted to tell her story, and it wasn't evil. It was like, just matter of fact, that's what happened. And sometimes because that trauma happened there, she visits that place.
So is some paranormal evil?
Yeah, you can get into demons are very rare. Very, very rare. So if you think that there's like, they're very rare. Like very seldom do you have. So like if, let's say you have your grandma's statue sitting on the dresser, and all of a sudden one day it falls down, and then you're like calling somebody, "I have a demon in my house. Like I have a bad spirit." Then I'll say, "Well, what happened?" "Well, my grandma's statue fell down." And I'll be like, "Well, where'd you get the statue?" "From my grandma." "Well, did your grandma like the statue?" "No. My grandpa gave it,
She was
I'm
like, "I'll get rid of this thing."
yeah. So I'm like, then most likely it's your grandma who didn't like the statue and wanted to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, get out of
But if
here.
you don't know that stuff, you're gonna be sitting in your room and the statue falls down and you're like, "Holy crap, there's a bad spirit," and that's what most people
freaks you
think
out.
that it is. And it's just because you don't know, because we haven't been taught to like know that souls are eternal and they're around us all the time.
So you got your beings, right? Not your frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so like,
There are lower level spirits that like to mess with you. There are.
okay.
Yeah, there are.
Is that like, is that what you would consider haunt?
My personal experience or my opinion on hauntings are, so like there's this little boy in Old Faithful, and some people can see him and he's running around asking where his mom is. "Where's my mom? Where's my mom?" Now, I don't feel like that little boy is not in heaven running around Old Faithful Inn asking for his mom. What I feel like happened is the little boy got lost. He couldn't find his mom, and that was a severe trauma for him, and he got scared. That energy stayed there. That, because we're all energy, right? And trauma and fear is a big, strong energy. So I feel like places that are haunted or places that have that energy are because there was some sort of trauma that happened there. And so part of that trauma stayed there, because there's no way in hell, I think, that little boy is not transitioned over on the other side. I don't think he's running through Old Faithful Inn looking for his mom still. And there's like even one of the president's wives, I think it was like Lincoln. Did you know Lincoln was like way into mediums?
Oh,
Like
really?
he went to a seance and he was watching, like back in the day when mediums would perform or do whatever they did, they would raise tables. They would want the spirits to like prove that they were there, so they would raise tables. Lincoln went to a seance, and then the piano was raising, and he went and sat on it to make sure it was legit. Like, so he would go to mediums all the time. They lost kids. They lost lots of kids. And so his wife would always go into mediums to try. And that's why lots of people see Lincoln, like a lot of ghosts, like a lot, Lincoln's in the White House a lot. But there's one of the president's wives, she would hang the clothes in the back of the White House every day, every single day. So now people say they still can see her hanging the clothes in the back. I don't believe her spirit's stuck there hanging clothes. Like, what a way to be in heaven, right? I feel like she did that every day. She left that residual energy. And so now some people see it. They see that residual energy that's there every day. So yeah, I don't believe, but I do, sometimes there are frequencies, there are spirits that do like to mess with you, and that's the lower frequencies. But what you have to remember too is you always have way more power than them, always. And you can at any time say you need to stop, and they will. If they don't, then you're probably messing with something that you don't want to be.
Have you ever had anyone come in and be like, I want that water bottle to move?
I've had to go in and clear houses before. Yeah. But most of the time it's just usually of one of your family members that's around that you just didn't realize that that's who it was.
No. I mean, like, have people come into you and been like, they want to know the spirit is actually there, so they'll ask you to ask them to move tables.
Yeah, no.
To raise tables.
Back in the day, that's what people expected mediums to do, is to move tables.
Yeah.
To raise tables.
And no one's asked you to do anything like that.
No, they don't.
Has anything like that happened? Have you been doing a reading and like something
flickered light a lot, and then sometimes things will fall off tables or things will fall off the fireplace or things like that. That's happened before. But one time I walked in, I was doing a reading, and I think the guy was a DJ, and he had like played music. So while I was giving the reading, the speaker out in my meditation room, the radio went on.
That's weird.
Yeah. So things like that have happened before.
So crazy.
I love that.
I feel like, this is my own thought, right? Like, so when I was growing up, I took things very literally because of the way I was raised. And like, oh, if you're doing bad things, like you're surrounded by bad people.
Bad spirits.
Bad spirits, like Satan, right? And so I used to literally think that like I was just being haunted all the time because I'm like, I'm just a little boy, dude. I'm sorry I touched myself. Holy shit. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's just hanging on me and I don't know, it feels good when I touch it.
Yeah, what is happening?
It's so funny.
But I used to think that like I was surrounded by bad spirits and like, dude, I was terrified. Terrified.
Yeah, and it pisses me off because there are shadows. Have you heard about shadow people? There are shadows and they do bug kids, and I wish that kids were off limits, but kids are so innocent, and they're so, if you do have like sometimes night tremors or things like that will happen to little kids because their energy's so, how I said their spirits' energies are here and ours are here, and they lower theirs, but little kids, they're already up here.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to, and so a lot of times those spirits will want to like get that energy, and so they will bug kids, and I wish they wouldn't. That kind of makes me mad because I would think, because your ancestors can try and protect you, but they can only do so much too, right? Like they can only, yeah.
What do you think about, you hear people that say like, I know a couple of like my friends' dads that kind of proclaimed that they saw things all the time, or they would like wake up and couldn't move. And it was something that happened.
Sleep paralysis is no joke.
Yeah, but all the time. And no matter where they went, they felt haunted. Like, or they had people sit at the bottom of their bed every night and they would see like this
happen.
Do you think people attach, or like they ask for it almost?
I don't know if they ask for it. I mean, we're 100% honest, I felt like there was something around me quite a bit just because of my gift. Like, if they know you can hear them, it's kind of like Ghost, with like Patrick Swayze.
I love that show.
And Oda Mae was like, oh my God, they're really here. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, you can hear me. And then he sticks with her as much as he can until he gets his message across. So I do kind of believe some of that. And I do believe, like, if there are spirits out there that know you can hear them, they will bug you until because they're like, oh my gosh, this kid can hear me. And kids have a higher frequency, so they can hear a little bit better. So sometimes they do mess with, like, they do. And I hate to say that because I don't want to instigate fear in anybody, but I'd also be doing a disservice if I lied and said, oh no, because there are mediums out there that are like, no, there's no demons, there's no scary stuff. It's all inside of you. You create it yourself. But I've seen some pretty scary shit that I know a 5-year-old little girl would not make up.
Manifest,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah. So there's no way in hell that I would ever think that somebody created that on their own.
I think that is like a location-based
sometimes
type thing.
And that's what they teach you when you're like doing paranormal stuff. The first thing you look at is the land. Always, always. Because the land can hold a lot of energy.
Yeah.
That's why Native Americans are land so sacred, is because the land can handle. And a lot of spirits will come back and be like, oh yeah, the house is on my land. And they loved the land because they owned the land since they were little, and that's where they were, and that's where their energy's at, and they like the land. So it just depends. And like even that show Poltergeist, right? They built their house on a cemetery that was on the land. Yeah.
Do you think, you say that like spirits will like cling? Sorry, I just keep like so many questions. You say that like spirits will like cling to, like, if they're like, oh my gosh, you can hear me, and then they cling to it. Like, do you have people that come in that are like, I've been trying so hard to get like I know like my grandma, like when my grandpa died forever ago, like she's never remarried and she talks about it every day. How she's like, why won't he talk to me? Why won't he come to me?
Okay. Yeah, he probably is, but she's looking like
she's missing it.
So she probably wants him to come through in a dream, right?
Or something. Or she just wants to know.
So she was like, but what's probably happening is he's leaving dimes everywhere and she doesn't connect the two.
The dimes.
Right? Or he's leaving feathers, or he's coming through in dragonflies and she doesn't connect it. She just is like, she just is thinking, oh, he's going to show up, or I'm going to see him, or I'm going to have a dream about him. So I have lots of people that are like, well, he came to somebody else in a dream and he didn't come to me. Well, you're not clairvoyant, but that other person is. So it was easier for them to show up in a dream for them and not you because you're not clairvoyant. How you talk to spirit is through your feels. So that's how they're going to come through for you. But feels is hard because you think you feel them, but then you think it's all in your head, right? Yeah. So a lot of times you just need to specifically say, I want you to bring me dimes, and they will. They'll bring you dimes. They'll start to bring you dimes. They'll start to show up for you because they want to talk to you too. They want you to know that they're there. So 100%, he's probably trying to connect her. She's just not connecting how he's doing it because she's probably claircognizant, and she probably wants him to show up in a dream, and she's not clairvoyant, so she's not seeing it. That's where the biggest mistake is.
Yeah, I've got another question going back to like whoever makes it this far in the podcast, right? But
I know.
I love
it. What time is it?
It's
10:30. Okay, we might have a little bit more.
Okay,
I got to ask this though.
Yeah,
so
last question.
Okay, so so you experience darkness or whatever, dark spirit, blah, blah. Like going back to my childhood, the second I decided that I no longer had to give my thoughts the power, like my power, or I had power with my thoughts, right? I'm like, I just stopped thinking about it. I'm like, nope. And never again. Like I never experienced it again.
Yeah.
Like
so
I
you
could
can
walk alone in the dark. I could do it all.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you create fears. So if you're a little kid and you're afraid of ghosts, then you're going to you keep thinking about that, then you can create that. Like the ghosts can feed on that fear, right? So that's like, but I got to tell you this story. I got to be careful because I'm like, who's listening to this in my family? One of my grandkids, I won't say which one, but I can tell there's a few of them. I have 8, and there's a couple of them that have the gift. Everybody has the gift, right? But there's just some people, it's like golf. The more you do it, the more, but there's just some that are natural and some that have to work at it. And I know a couple of my grandkids, they have it like without having to work at it. And one of them saw a ghost, and the ghost kept bugging him. And I finally just said, and I think they're pretty LDS. So I think like one of the parentals didn't really want me to do the sage and to do all that stuff. And so I just said, put a piece of tourmaline. It's a underneath the bed. Just put it, and don't tell anybody it's there. Just put it there. It's like a rock. It's a crystal. And the next day, my child called me and said, well, it worked because the spirit showed up and said, I can't come near your bed because there's a rock underneath it. That's what he said to my grandchild.
Wow.
So it was like it worked, but nobody knew the rock was there. Not even my grandchild knew that the rock was put in there. Everybody doesn't know who it is now.
It's out of the bag.
So my daughter had put it there in secret, not letting anybody know that it happened. And then the child was like, the ghost came back last night, but he couldn't come by my bed because he told me there was a rock underneath my bed. So, and the rock was just a protection. It's a tourmaline. It's called tourmaline. And I have it on these bracelets right here. And it protects you. It makes that, and everything is energy, and everything has energy, and it just protrudes that energy that they don't want to be around.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm protruding that energy with my brain.
Like it's kind of what you believe in, right?
Yeah. I really do think that. Like the second I just
like
didn't give it the power.
Dumbo's feather, like in the Disney, he thought that the feather made him fly.
Yeah.
So, but then once he dropped the feather and realized he had the power within himself, it was fine. Same thing.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think yeah. There's so many. We could go down even more rabbit holes, but I better let you go to sleep.
Yeah. So funny.
Cool.
Awesome.
End it, Tom.
Is there anything else, Cari, that you want to leave us with some wisdom, or are you good to top? You're done.
I pretty much
You're tapped out.
If I were to leave anything, it would be to just realize that I wish each individual really, really knew how powerful they really were, and that, like, beyond what they can even imagine. It's just we limit ourselves so much because of our beliefs, because of our feathers, Dumbo's feather, that we don't really understand what we're really capable of. And I just feel like if people could just realize what they were, the power that they hold and what they're capable of, they could just do amazing things. And I would hope that people could tap into that.
One piece of advice for anyone that wants to, what would you tell them to do?
Believe in it. Believe in yourself. Belief is huge. Like, I couldn't be a medium if I didn't believe in it, right? If I didn't believe that I could actually talk to dead people. I feel so disrespectful saying dead people, but
Yeah, they know they're dead.
yeah. So
They don't remember their emotions
yeah,
are level 2.
you need to really believe in what you need to really believe in yourself or what you're doing, else it's gonna block you right at the beginning. Yeah, you have to believe in that power.
Love it.
Awesome.
Name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Thanks,
the best
Cari.
possible way to end that specific one.
Man, that was such a fun episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.